What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Fitness Tech Reviews, we're going to be going over the Garmin Vivosmart 5. So this is the newest fitness band coming out from Garmin. The Vivosmart 4 was a very popular device, and they went on with the Vivosmart 5. But what I'm going to go in this video are the specifications, how the fitness and the sleep tracking is, and overall, is it best for you? But let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, the first thing first is specifications. This does come in two different sizes, a small, medium, and a large. I do have smaller wrists, so I went with the small medium. It worked out fairly well. I believe the large would not have fit, so if you do have smaller wrists, you're going to have to go with the small medium. It does have a silicone band that they use on pretty much all their devices. It also has an acrylic top as well, so it's not glass. It will scratch. It does have an OLED touchscreen that is fairly small, and not only that, it does have a physical button right underneath it. It doesn't have any official water rating. It says swim on the website, so they do say you can swim with it, but the Vivosmart 5 did have 5 atmospheres of water resistance, so you should expect pretty much the same. It does have the Garmin Elevate heart rate monitor. It also has an accelerometer and an ambient light sensor and a pulse ox sensor as well. If you turn on the pulse ox sensor, this will drop down your battery life. It says it gives you about 7 days of battery life, but if you want to add in the pulse ox, which if you are looking to get good sleep tracking, you'll probably get about 5 days of battery life. It does connect through Bluetooth. You will need an Android or an iOS device to do the Garmin Connect app, and that is pretty much everything built in. That's where you can change out all the settings as well. It has smartwatch features like text message, email notifications, find my phone type things as well. The things it does track, of course, your heart rate, your steps that you counted through. It does do a fitness age as well. It tracks your sleep, a couple of women's health features too, and it also has the Garmin body battery built in, which is all due to the stress that you put on your body. I did a full review on that. All that's going to be linked down below. All right, let's get into the fitness and sleep tracking of the device. You do have to go into your Connect app, and it has a home screen right there. I just did a mile run. Let's go ahead and get into that mile run. So when you do click on it, it gives you a little map to see how your pace was, which is pretty awesome. You can even get a bigger map by clicking onto it and seeing how everything went, slower and faster, and all that. Kind of did sprints and walks to kind of see how it went. Everything was pretty accurate, even though it did lose me a little bit here and there. Like all the way down here, I definitely didn't jump on over here. I stayed along the side of the road, so it gave me a little extra as far as my distance was concerned. It does use the GPS on your phone, so there is a little bit of inaccuracy with the GPS, but overall pretty darn accurate. Then you can go into other statistics as well. This is built for data nerds if you want to track how you can see everything right there, your average temperature. My temperature went up and down. It was a little bit colder outside. You can also see where your different paces were as well. And also with all of that, you do have your pace here and your heart rate. So with the heart rate, I wasn't the happiest with it with my workouts I did, and I'm also going to show you the other one. I did get a little bit higher on my heart rate. Whoop is going to be right over here, but it did check that low and upward trend, but it didn't really see the spikes as much as I thought it would. And when I'm going on into my all activities, you can see this app is huge. There are a lot of things you can go into with this app, but when I go into my cardio here and I go over to my heart rate, it said I had a maximum of 146, which definitely wasn't very accurate. I stayed at about 160 during my entire workout. Again, Whoop right over here, so I wasn't the happiest with it, but was a lot of wrist flexion, so you do see some dips here and there. So overall, decent heart rate tracking, just not the best heart rate tracking. Now going through the rest of it, your heart rate is right here. As you can see, it's tracking me right there. Body battery, which is a fairly good way to let you know how much energy you have throughout your day. Stress, also very accurate. Then your intensity minutes, your steps throughout the day, calories you burn, sleep. I was very happy with its sleep tracking. So I did have to wake up a couple of different times, and it said I had a wake of 1 hour and 35 minutes. Pretty darn accurate. Again, my Whoop is a very accurate sleep tracker. If I can nitpick a little bit, the REM sleep was a little bit lower throughout, but through the times I used it, today, Thursday, very accurate. I didn't have the pulse ox on the first day it was on, and that's where I got the worst sleep tracking from this device. So I definitely recommend putting on your pulse ox. It didn't really get the most accurate, especially when I awoke a little bit later, like when you go into your movement. You can see I moved a little bit closer to 4 o'clock down there, and it didn't see that I woke up. I had to feed my baby. So that's a little bit disappointing, but if you do turn your pulse ox on, it is very accurate, tells you when you are awake, and I would definitely recommend this as your sleep tracker. Going into the actual user interface of the band itself, you have different watch faces. For this watch face, you kind of hit it, it kind of scrolls up a little bit of things like body, battery, calories burned, and stuff like that. When you swipe downward, it's going to go through your different widgets that you can customize in the app, things like calendar, and if you want to click on stuff like stress and heart rate, it's all built in there as well. And if you hit that physical button down here at the bottom, that is your back button. When you go ahead and hit that button at the home screen, you can get into your activities from here. These are also customizable if you want to change them out. Those are customizable in the actual app and in the band itself. And then when you swipe up, you have your heart rate, you have different watch faces you can go through, so different ones, if you wanted to try different ones, they are right there. After watch faces, you have things like your clock, so if you need to set alarms, they're right there, and hitting that home button and stopwatches. You have a couple of settings in there if you want to change out your different ways you go with your wrist heart rate, auto, alerts, stuff like that. You can alert if it's a little higher or a little lower. You have your phone device, so you can hit that and you can actually stay connected to your device and pair with the phone and sync. So if you want to turn off that, you can do that through that. Morning reports, if you want to get those for your day. Safety stuff and some other things in your system. If you want to change your brightness levels, your alert vibrations, how long this is on, your gestures, all that is right there. So there really isn't much built in the actual band, and this is replaceable. And this is where you have all your sensors in the back. And if you have your charger, this is the same barrel charger that is pretty much for all the bands that Garmin sells. It plugs right in, takes about 2 hours to fully charge. So what are my overall thoughts and recommendations with this band? So it is a very accurate band when sleep is concerned, and it's a decent heart rate tracker within your workouts. It has a fairly bright screen in really bright situation. It's not the easiest to read, especially when you are on a run. There are some lighter things on that are harder to read. Battery life, fairly decent. Again, if you're turning on pulse ox, about 5 days, so that's fairly decent. I expected a little bit more out of it, but 5 days is pretty good. There are so much statistics you can get through your workouts, like runs and your sleep. So if you are a data nerd and you're looking for something a little bit smaller, this is going to be the best band for you. It does have a replaceable band, so you are able to change out the colors. And of course, if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, this is going to work out for you as well. Some of the reason I wouldn't get the band is the screen is small, monochrome screen. You can get other fitness bands around this price point and get the same type of deal, like the Fitbit Luxe. And if you're looking for something a little bit bigger, the Garmin Forerunner 55 is going to give you a pretty much the same type of screen, but bigger, and it's going to give you a great GPS as well with around the same price point. Also, the Fitbit Charge 5 is a great band as well that's going to give you an even bigger screen, and that has a GPS built in as well. For an extra $30, I think you're just going to get a lot more out of the band. But on the caveat on the Fitbits, a lot of stuff is built behind a paywall. They're Fitbit Premium. You do get a couple of months free, I think 6 months free with the Charge 5, but you will have to pay either $99 a month or $80 for the year if you want to get those extra things that they have built in, like the equal of their body battery, their recovery score. You do actually have to pay to get that, which is fairly disappointing. And any statistics longer than 7 days, you have to pay to keep that built into the actual app. So that is disappointing as far as Fitbit is concerned. So you're looking for a bigger screen and a GPS built in, I'd probably go with the Garmin Forerunner 55. And if the stuff built behind the paywall isn't a big deal for you, I would definitely recommend the Charge 5 that has a GPS built in, or even the Fitbit Luxe that is going to have pretty much the same form factor but a color OLED screen with around the same type of battery life. Well, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, please smash that like button. If it was really helpful, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first ones to know when my newest video comes out. I am going to be doing a review of the Vivosmart 5 versus the Vivosmart 4 if you should upgrade or if you're looking between the two devices. So make sure you are subscribed when that video comes out. And if you're looking for anything for like body battery type stuff or how the Garmin apps look, I'm going to link all my videos to those down below. And if you'd like to purchase this band or any of the ones I've talked about, I do have some Amazon links down below. It's going to shoot you to Amazon, and a little bit of that purchase is going to help me grow my channel. But as always, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, And above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.